what happens if your battery dies?
Yeah, what happens if your battery dies?
Well, where do you charge it? Do you have to like go to a station to charge it? And actually, all right, we're heading out on another e-venture. Where are we going?
We're going to Hawk Creek Campground and Trailhead. That's on Lake Roosevelt.
Yep, and first on our way there, we're gonna stop in Davenport again.
Yep.
But we've been there before.
Good old faithful Davenport.
Yep, Davenport, the Lincoln County Museum.
Yep.
Use their free charging station there just to top off. We have to make sure that we are topped off before we leave because the place that we're going has no RV hookups.
Yep.
So we can't recharge at our campsite. We have to have enough battery to get to the campsite and then back to Davenport on our way home.
Yep.
Actually, it's funny, I was talking to somebody about going camping in an EV, and I told him that we do that we use the RV hookups to charge, and he goes, oh, well, when I go camping, I'm actually going camping. And I was like, what? What does that mean? Well, apparently it means you have to go somewhere that has like no amenities. Well, where we're going now has no water, no electricity, there's vault toilets, that's it. There's no cell service, no internet, it really is out in the middle of nowhere.
We're gonna be living it rough.
Yep, we are, we're gonna be roughing it, so.
Yeah, and we don't have our adapter yet, so we can't even use our little like cook stove thing that we have, because we're planning, we're planning on plugging that into the car at some point, so when we go to these places that don't have anything, we can still like cook out of the back of the car, which will be pretty cool. But we haven't got that yet. We can't even do that. So.
Yep. Also, there's a fire ban right now, so we won't be able to make a fire.
Yep. So cold meals for the win.
Yep.
Yep. So, unfortunately, it's really smoky out right now because of all the fires, and it's kind of been a little bit breezy, and it's been blowing all the smoke down in here, so that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, it's really like hazy. But yeah, what's cool about EVs is that unlike a internal combustion engine vehicle, a gas or a diesel car, EVs don't have air intakes. So they don't need air filters, they don't need to filter anything out of the air before it goes into an engine because there's no engine. So you can actually have super dirty, disgusting air and it's not going to have any sort of adverse impact on the vehicle components because that air isn't going into the battery or the motor or anything like that.
It's pretty nice.
It makes it very reliable, very versatile, even in those kind of tough conditions of very smoky or just generally polluted air. All right, we're back in Davenport again.
Wanna stop for gas? Again? One of us is gonna make that joke every single time.
We're gonna keep making that joke
Yep.
every time.
The town looks a little more happening this time around.
Yeah, a little more lively.
Let's see if anybody's is at the charger. We've come here several times, but the one time there was somebody here. It's clear? It's clear.
It's clear.
Oh, I like this golden light that's going on right now.
Yep.
See?
It's getting later. We're gonna be getting to the campground in the evening.
Yeah, a little
That's
bit.
okay.
We've set up so many times we could set up in the dark. Maybe. Not a challenge.
We have set up in the dark. We did that the first time we went to
That's true.
Electric City. All right, so we're here. We're gonna get charged up.
Yep.
And we're gonna show you some stuff around the town while we're waiting for it.
And we're at 61% right now, so that's pretty good.
There she goes, charging up.
How long do you think it's gonna take to charge?
I believe we need to stay here for about half an hour, something like that. I'll double check that.
Noise.
So right around the corner from the charging station, there's this really cool park. And I think it's kind of neat because it's like if you are charging and you need a place to like hang out and kill some time, you got a park here, there's benches, there's like a cool sundial thing. There's also some restrooms.
Yes.
And a little free library.
Yep.
So you can, if you need some reading material, you can take a book.
Yep.
And read. So
yeah, it's really nice. It got lots of green grass and little flowers and stuff.
Yeah.
Just makes it really pretty.
And last time we came through here, there was like this construction site. There was a little cafe over here that was under construction, and now it's open. Yeah. It actually looks super cool.
It smells even
better. Really good. Yeah. We might have to. We already have some meals planned out tonight, but maybe we should.
Not as good as artisan pizza.
Maybe we should go there on the way back.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see.
All done charging.
Yep. We didn't charge as long as we maybe planned to, but I figured out that we really don't need a full charge to make it there and back. So we're just gonna keep going.
We're at 77% right now, and it should be all good.
The cool thing is there are free apps that you can get that will help you calculate exactly how much charge you need to get from one place to another and help you find charging locations. Yep. It's pretty easy actually to do the planning.
Yeah, yeah. And it's good because sometimes like today, we didn't need as much charge as we originally thought. So we got to leave a little bit earlier. So that was nice.
Yep. So that means we can get back on the road and it won't be so dark when we get there to set up our campsite.
Yep, exactly. Coolio. All right, we'll update again soon.
So when people find out that we drive electric cars, a lot of times they don't really know anything about them and they have questions. And so I wanted to kind of talk about what the main questions are that we get asked. What about you? What's your maybe top question you get from people when they find out you drive an electric car?
I think the top one for me, they ask me, well, what happens if you run out of charge? Like what happened? How do you deal with that?
What happens if your battery dies?
Yeah, what happens if your battery dies? The most easy response is just to tell them, well, you just treat it like you would a tank of gas. You learn your car's limits. You're not gonna go further than your gas tank can allow. So,
and you're going to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, you're going to keep an eye on it.
Gas tank when you need to.
Exactly. So that's kind of what I tell them, and they're just like, "Oh, I guess that makes sense," And luckily, I mean, as more time goes on, like the infrastructure of chargers being available is way better. If you plan correctly and you listen to your car, you're probably not going to run out of battery unless you're being stupid.
I mean, like I was saying earlier, it's not hard to plan and make sure that you're going to have enough charge and that you know where you're going to stop to charge and stuff. It's not hard to do that. And that kind of leads to the number one question I get, well, where do you charge it? Do you have to go to a station to charge it? 99% of our charging is done at home. Mm-hmm. The only time we really charge away from home is if we're going on a trip like we are today. Yeah. Then we're gonna have to stop at a public charging station. But if I'm just going to work and back, I never go to a charging station. I just plug in when I get home, and then the next day it's full again. Yeah. Actually, not even the next day, like in a couple of hours it'll be full again. Yeah. When you have to run an errand or something, the car's always full, and then as soon as you get back, you plug it back in and top it off.
Yep, and it's really nice. I hated gas stations anyway, and so it's been really nice, not having to even think about that at all. It's just like, oh, there's one of those old-fashioned gas stations, honey.
Yeah, definitely don't miss that experience of having to get gas. I mean, how often does it happen looking at your gas gauge and going, crap, I got to get gas on my way home from work today. Now that never happens. We know that we can get home, and then we just plug in once we get home. Problem solved. Yeah, and it's just nice because, gas stations can be scary. Yeah. So it's really nice to just kind of have that comfort and, to plug in at home. So it's really nice. Now, obviously, not everyone who is... Oh, we got some quail.
Yikes!
Quails. Get out of the road, baby.
Oh, look, and some deer. Well, we're fighting the wildlife already, and We're still 10 minutes away.
Baby deer.
It's like barely, you can barely
Still
see
has
its
the
little spots.
spots.
Barely.
Yep.
Barely see those. Oh, that's cute.
So obviously not everyone who is watching our videos owns EVs or has any experience with them. And so if you guys have questions for us, definitely put those in the comments, or if you see a question somebody else asked, and you're like, oh yeah, I want to know that too, give their comment a like so it'll kind of float up to the top. We'll try to answer the top questions in future videos.
Yeah, totally happy to share our knowledge, as much as we have learned and everything.
Yeah, knowledge that we've gained from our experiences.
Yep. Well, I can see the lake over the hill.
Yep,
so I think we're getting really close.
We're getting really close.
And the sun is starting to go down and it's very orange because of all the smoke. Yep, really close.
Yep.
We just turned off the paved road onto the gravel road.
Yep.
So you might not be able to hear us because it's gonna get real bumpy. But we are on our way to the Hawk Creek Campground. It's about a minute away, 0.2 miles.
Yep. Almost there.
Yep. So excited.
All right, so we made it.
We made it, and it's the first campsite we found.
Yep, it's literally campsite number 1 at the campground.
Compared to last trip where we went around in circles for like a half an hour, this was much easier.
Yep.
It is a much smaller campground though. I think there's only like, what, 15 sites or something like that?
That doesn't keep it from getting filled up. There's tons of RVs here.
Yeah, it's pretty great. But yeah, behind us we got a nice lake view, and you know, the sun has gone down behind the hill, so it's a little cooler for us to set up. So that's nice.
Yep. Pretty cool.
Yep.
So now we're gonna go get the tent all set up and get everything unpacked.
Yep. We've arrived.
Yep, we're all set up. We got the campsite all set up and everything unpacked. Tents all set up. Air mattress blown up. Time to eat some dinner, I think, right?
Yep, we are having chicken Caesar salad pita bread wraps. It should be good.
Okay then.
I had to get creative because I didn't have anything to heat anything up, so.
All right,
okay.
Let's give it a shot.
It's gonna taste better than it looks.
All right, so we got some food in us. Now we're gonna go scout out a little bit and see where this trailhead is and what trails there are.
I was doing some reading, and there's one that's along the lake. It's really short, it's like a mile. It's gonna get really hot really fast, so we kind of need to know
Yep.
what to do.
So we'll do some recon and get some good sleep. The bugs are definitely out tonight, but so are the bug eaters.
Yes.
Got a lot of swallows flying around.
There's the waterfall.
What was that?
Cedar waxwing. Multiples. Oh my gosh. I hope they're here tomorrow.
They let us get really close, huh?
Dude. I love cedar waxwings. They are so gorgeous. If the light was a little bit better and we had more time, I would be like running back and getting my good camera, because we had a cedar waxwing hit our window when I was growing up, And we're like, oh no, and we picked it up and it was still alive and doing okay. But its beak was open and it had like this thing stuck right in like its mouth. And we're like, what? So Mom takes her pinky and pops it out and it was like a huge berry that it couldn't swallow. So yeah, they like my story. Thanks guys.
Well, hopefully we'll see some tomorrow.
Yes, I hope so. You look so comfy.
So comfy. So we're all ready to go to bed, brush our teeth, and getting ready to turn in for the night.
Yep.
Had a good little recon.
Yep.
Saw a bunch of different things. Saw some good spots where we can post up to get some good video. Yep. So.
And we saw lots of birds.
What were they? Kingbirds?
Mm-hmm.
And kingfishers. And
ducks,
cedar waxwings, and ducks and geese, and swallows.
Yep.
So a bunch of bats too.
Oh, and a frog.
And a giant frog.
Toad thing. I don't know how to tell the difference.
Don't know. A frog named Mr. Toad.
It was from the stuff of nightmares.
It wasn't that bad.
I don't like. Anyway, so now we're gonna go to bed and we'll see if we can get any sleep because joint camping.
We're gonna need it.
Yep.
Good night.
Good night.
All right, it's breakfast time. And we're being quiet. Morning. And there are tons of tiny little frogs all over the ground. So the Lincoln County Museum is actually open now. This is the first time they've ever been open. All right, well, we got some pizza and some Italian sodas. That was really good.